Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I am Wolfstalker25, and this is Wolfstalker25 Reviews. Today, I am bringing you guys another action figure review of the new Marvel Infinity Saga line Iron Man Mark III from Iron Man 1. So, it's been about 2 weeks since I uploaded a video. I apologize for that. But yeah, let's get into the video really quick. I've had this guy for about a week now. I've had him opened, everything like that. Got the box in the background for you guys. And yeah, he's awesome. I really like him. I think he is a drastic improvement over the original Hasbro Mark III that you could see back in the corner over there in the video. We'll bring him back out later for a size comparison. So really quick, getting into Iron Man, let's just take a look at how tall he is. And he stands just a little over 6.5 inches tall. So he's pretty tall, fits pretty well for I guess for a character in armor. So, but yeah, overall thoughts and opinions. He is very cool. He's shiny. Has very good articulation. There are a couple gripes I have with him, and we'll get into those in a couple minutes here. But really quick, let's take a look at the accessories. So you get the pair of fisted hands that you get here that are on the figure already. You get those. You get another pair of the repulsor blast or flight hands, depending on how you want them. They don't have the peg hole in them like other hands have had in the past. So it's just the printed on arc reactor. You get two heads, an alternate head with this one, which is greatly appreciated. I do wish they gave you like a completely unmasked Robert Downey Tony Stark head, but you know, it's fine. They gave us the head here, which is the like mask open showing Robert Downey Tony head in there. And I think the likeness is pretty good. It didn't look great in the pictures, but I think in hand works pretty well. Got the top of the helmet. Helmet's pretty nice. And then you got two more little accessories over here. You got a wrist rocket attachment. Mine has some extra gold paint on it, and that plugs just into the arm. So it's got a little peg there. And then you have I want to say this is supposed to be a laser attachment that's supposed to look like it's coming out of his arm. So really quick, and then you have the replacement part for the forearm. So I'll put the rocket on here really quick just so you could get an idea of what it looks like. And pegs in perfectly fine. And bringing the arm up, and there we go. We have wrist rocket for whenever you want to get those cool like tank shots with Iron Man. This works pretty well. Yeah, so looks nice. I'm gonna keep that off though, and we're gonna put the other part back on just because that's how I like them displayed. And there we go. So really quick, getting into Iron Man after 3 minutes, really quick. But here's his articulation. So the head is on I think it's a ball and, yeah, it's on a peg. It's not on the disc hinge, which really sucks. Unfortunately, he only gets that much upward looking. So if you arch his back up all the way, that's really the best forcing that you could get for a flight pose, unfortunately, which just isn't that, like, I mean, he could look straight up with the back arched back, but if you're trying to get him in a flight pose, that's the best he could do. I wish he could get just a little bit more, but unfortunately he can't, and it leaves this big old gap right in there. So, but he gets that far forward, that far down, which is pretty good. If you want to take the ab crunch, he goes that much more, which is just a bit more. So double jointed elbows, which do get very good right there. He's got I want to say he's got a wrist hinge in there. Yeah, he's got a wrist hinge on the fist, but it doesn't get very much. It only gets a little bit. And then the other hands do not have a hinge or anything, so they're just stuck in that position for the repulsor blast or anything like that. He does have a bicep swivel as well, and the wrists do completely twist around. The arm does do a full 360, but here's the thing about it though. This shoulder piece is on a, I don't know if you could fully see it, but it is inside here, and it's on like a little rubber like circle that pegs in, that the arm pegs into in the chest. So I'm a little worried that it's gonna rip, but it does move with the shoulder, so you gotta kind of like grab onto that and move it with it. So let's see, diaphragm joint, he's got that far left, that far right, forward that much, back a whole lot. So you could go really far back if you want to do flight poses, or like arc reactor, like unibeam pose or something like that. Legs do go forward that much, so they could go all the way around with these legs. They go back a lot. Double jointed knees can easily kick his own butt. And then you got the ankle, which does go forward that much, back that much, and then he's got a little bit of ankle pivot. Not a ton. It's there though, but it is there. Tiny bit. And then he's got the upper thigh cut here with how that leg is. So yeah, let's see. Yep, a little bit of ankle pivot. Not a ton, but he's got it. He's got it. It is hindered with the side of the leg here, the little boot cover. So overall, Iron Man articulation, pretty good. Nothing really complaints about it, besides maybe there's nothing down here at the waist, like another waist joint. If there is, I really cannot tell. But I kind of wish they had one down there so you could just get ever so slightly more out of that. And then the head, I wish it was on the disc hinge, just because you could get a higher looking move like the old head joints that the Marvel Legends used to do. So, alright, now we're going to take a look at a couple size comparisons. First, let's take a look at how he looks next to the 80 years Iron Man, or Tony Stark from the Mark 1 redo 2-pack. I think personally he is a little tall in comparison to the armor, or the armor's a little tall in comparison to Tony. I think Tony, like realistically, he should probably be like right here on it, maybe? Just to, like, hover him up a tiny bit, just because if Tony was like an extra half an inch taller, or a quarter of an inch taller, I think he looks just a little too small to fit inside the armor. So you could say the armor is a little big, but you could also say the Tony Stark is a little small. And then we're gonna take a look next to him, or with a look next to the old Iron Man, whatever it was. I don't remember the exact name of it. I think it was like some Iron Man collection from Iron Man 1 and 2 that came out a little bit after them. But here's the Ironmonger figure here. So as you can see, he scales not so well with him. He's very tall compared to him. Unfortunately, I don't have the new Obadiah Stane and Ironmonger 2-pack yet. I've got it pre-ordered, waiting on it. I will do a review on that later, and you will see Iron Man and Tony come back to do a comparison of that. So we'll take Tony out of here, and then we'll take a look at the old Mark III, and wow, that is a difference. So the old Iron Man is very dusty. He's got very bowed legs, and you can see that height difference, about almost an inch difference in height, probably. This Iron Man, though, I like the gold paint way better on him. I kind of wish the red was a little bit more like this one, a little darker, just because I think this is a little too bright, maybe. Other than that, I think this Mark III is a fantastic improvement over this one. There's really not much more you could say about it with like comparison to that, because it's just so much better. So we'll take a look at a couple other Marvel Legends really quick. Let's take a look at the newer Iron Man Classic from the comics to get a comparison with him. And a little tiny bit taller, I think. And then the hologram armor Iron Man that just recently also came out, part of the... Oh god, I think it's the Ursa Major wave, and that's the I can't remember. It's the Shang-Chi wave, the Mr. Hyde Build-A-Figure. So I think he looks pretty good next to those. This is an MCU armor, and I will be doing a video on him at some point, and maybe do a retro review on, well, a throwback review on the other Iron Man. If you would like to see a review on either of those, let me know. And then, lastly, for the Iron Man comparisons, we're going to take a look at them next to the Mezco Stealth Iron Man. Scales pretty well. The Marvel Select Mark 50, which is way bigger. As you can see, he's just, well, just a little bit. I mean, that one's like a 7-inch figure, though, so just a bit. And then, lastly, for Iron Man, here is the Mark 6 SH Figuarts. And yeah, they don't scale well, unfortunately. It's kind of a bummer. I really hope that Hasbro gets back around to redoing some of the older Iron Man armors. So I would like to see them redo this body with a Mark II, redo the Mark 1. Unfortunately, that one's just a little short. I could pull it out here really quick. Yeah, so that's the Mark 1 in comparison to the 2 or 3, which should be the same height. So this one really needs a rework, unfortunately. And we're dropping stuff again. But yeah, I would like to see them redo the Mark 6 as well as the Mark 5 and the Mark 4. They could probably easily reuse this body for the Mark... Well, obviously the Mark 2. They even made a joke about that before. But yeah, the Mark 2 could use a redo and just repaint this. I actually have a second one of these bought to do a possible custom Mark 2. I don't know if I'll get into it, but here's a look next to some fellow Avengers of his. So we have Captain America, which this armor would have never seen another Avenger, unfortunately. Besides, no, that was the Mark IV, I think. Besides, I was going to say Black Widow, but I don't know if he exactly was wearing this armor or the Mark IV in Iron Man 2. But just a hair taller. I think Cap should be a tiny bit taller, like in armor comparison, but he's shorter. I would say he's shorter than the armor for sure. Let's take a look next to Thor. So we get the big 3 in here. Oh, knocking stuff down again. So got Cap, just a bit shorter than Iron Man in his armor. And we got Thor, who is just a tiny bit taller than Iron Man in his armor. So that's the Dark World Thor and Winter Soldier Captain America. A little bit older of a figure. And lastly, for our Marvel Legend review, we have him next to Black Widow from the new Black Widow movie wave. Well, not new, but old Black Widow movie wave. Black Widow movie just came out, though. And I guess we'll look at him next to one more big figure for Legends. Here's a comic book Thanos. So he's a bit taller. So that works. So movie Thanos should also be around that height. So let's get into some other Hasbro figures really quick. Here's a Black Series Cal Kestis. Pretty much a lot taller. Marvel Legend Retro Spider-Man. Bit taller as well. And then the Power Ranger Lightning Collection Red Ranger, or Red Dino Thunder Ranger. So, taller than all of them, as he should be. He's on armor, and the Power Ranger's a teenager. So, height works there. Let's look at him next to some other imports really quick, and one more. So another one of my favorite armored characters. Here he is next to the Figma Samus Other M, or Metroid Other M Samus. And we're going to look at him since he was in Fortnite, next to a Jazzwares Fortnite Raven Legendary Series figure. Scales pretty well. I don't like the height with Samus. I wish the Samus was taller, but maybe we'll get someone that makes a good Samus at some point. Like a better height, better scale Samus, because that Figma one is very nice. Here is next to McFarlane Space Marine, way bigger. Probably should be, but I'm not 100% how tall they should be in scale wise. And here he is next to an SH Figuarts Hulk. Hulk is way bigger as he should be. That works very well. I like that scale a decent amount. And then Storm Collectible, Marcus Phoenix. Marcus should be around the same height as the armor, so obviously he doesn't scale Storm Collectibles. He scales well with some of the figure arts, I will say that. Jazzwares Master Chief. Master Chief is about, I think, 7 feet, high 6 foot tall. So that works, actually, I think. I think that's a very good scale if you want to scale your Iron Man with your Chief. I mean, Chief is huge. So, and then lastly, we'll take a look at him with a... This is Mafex Batman. Batman's a bit shorter. Probably should be a tiny bit shorter, but I think he's too short. And then last figure comparison is the Reveltech All Might, which is way taller again. So yeah, Iron Man scales pretty well with a lot of these different figures. But he's solid. Great figure. Really excited for the new Ironmonger. I can't wait to pose them up together. He's going to be taking place of the old Iron Man Mark III back there in the Hall of Armor, so it's going to be pretty cool. Can't wait for a Mark II or my own custom one at some point. And actually, let's take a look at him with one last one. Let's put his buddy War Machine next to him. So, yeah, this Iron Man, he is awesome. He's a great figure. He poses up very well. I really enjoy him. He definitely, like I said, I have a gripe with the head. But that's it. Other than that, he's fantastic. Could use a little bit deeper or shinier red paint, I think, maybe on there, because I think that's just plastic that they did. Another couple QC issues I have with mine is he's got a little black scuff right there, and then I think there's like an extra gold mark somewhere in the chest that I'm not finding it on camera, but the arc reactor's got some good paint. The eyes got some white in there, and then the rest of them. Let's take a look at the back really quick. Just a little final bit of him. Yeah, he's pretty good. Really good, actually. I really like him. Probably one of my favorite Iron Man that they've done in a while, so especially for movie ones. So if you did enjoy this review, go ahead, leave a like down below. Let me know what you think of this figure. Did you pick it up? Are you planning on picking it up? What is some of your Infinity Saga figures that you're most excited about? I know this video will come out on the 15th if I can get this going. So we do got a new Hasbro Marvel Legend thing tomorrow on the 16th, so we'll see what figures get announced there. Hopefully nothing crazy, because my wallet can't take it anymore. But yeah, if you did enjoy this review, let me know in the comments and everything. And go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you are new. I will be trying to do these videos weekly if I can. I did have a little bit of an issue with the holiday, with 4th of July. I didn't record anything for the following week, and then I've just had a friend in town recently that I was hanging out with, and it just made the reviews get a little bit delayed. But yeah, he's awesome, and hopefully you guys enjoyed this, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye guys, take care.